This is your boy Loathing Cray. This right here is probably not going to be too popular. My Light in the Darkness series usually doesn't get that many views compared to my reviews or my stories. But in the end, this, at least to me, is one of the most important parts of the channel. It definitely covers different things, as you guys already know, from spirituality to even sometimes mental health. Even though I usually leave my mental health stuff, that there is experiences, because of course there are experiences I've had in my life. This one obviously is going to be part of the Light in the Darkness. So what's it about? It's about a very, I'm not going to say controversial, but it's something we all deal with. And I know I do. Probably maybe even, I'm not going to say more than most, because it seems to be fairly common. More than even I realized. I'll be honest, the pandemic really kind of opened my eyes to this one. And that is self-loathing. Am I going to say self-hatred? Well, loathing and hatred can kind of coincide. But at the same time, what exactly is self-loathing? Well, self-loathing is, of course, the dislike for the self. What can cause this? It can be anything. I'm telling you that right now. Anything can happen to you. Of course, usually what happens is a negative event, a trauma, something that just is not good that has happened to you. It can be anything. But the fact is, once you kind of have that branded into you, it ain't something that just goes away. It's something you have to work at all your life. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you have mental illness, you can do certain things. Of course, you you try to keep your spirituality. That's to me the most important thing. I'm not talking about religion either. I'm talking about just trying to keep your spirit as strong as it can be. However you choose to do this. Also, of course, if there are certain things you need to do, like to take care of yourself. I'm not talking about just taking medication. I'm talking about like reaching out to people, counseling, whatever. These things are instrumental. Now, true, when it comes to that kind of situation of self-loathing, which is triggered by mental illness, like it is with me in many cases, that is far from flawless, I'm telling you. But again, if you go the right angles and you pay attention, and you are not afraid to ask for help when you legitimately need it. I'm not talking about being a drama queen or, like all the time, look at me, look at me. I'm not talking about that, no. No one wants to be around that. It's being like a bugaboo or something. Hell no. I'm talking about you legitimately communicate with people daily, sometimes, even a couple of times a day if you need to. You reach out to people, you get that help. That can actually help with self-loathing because it is good to actually, I'm not going to say be validated, but obviously, at least with me, it keeps me grounded. So obviously people like to talk to me, or else the fact is, my point is I'm doing something right, so why should I loathe myself? What trips me up is my failures. Usually if I feel like I failed in something, that's when the self-loathing really kicks in, or I've accidentally hurt someone's feelings. Things like this have always plagued me. But also I have learned to keep myself grounded when it comes to, like I said, I reach out to people, I talk to them. A support system is very important, especially when you feel this feeling of self-hatred, loathing. Like I said, I think most of us have it in some way or other. But you have to keep working on yourself and working on what's in front of you to keep that from happening. Of course, distraction is important too, whether it be reading, playing games, going out somewhere. I'm just saying, anything, that's also needed. But don't do that too much. My point is this. If you know yourself and you're aware of yourself, you can catch those dark thoughts coming. And sometimes you just have to let it, how can I say this the best way? Many times I pray to the Lord, walk me through this. Because it's going to be, unfortunately, my mind is vomiting out these god-awful thoughts, and I need your help. And I usually let it run its course, and I'm like, okay, this is done. And then I go on about my day, and basically try to get things done. That is what I've had to learn. The dark thoughts and the self-hatred, it's there. It's always going to be there. Now, do I have self-love? Yes, I do. I will admit that. I do have self-love because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be putting this out there if that was not the case. I feel that people really, during this time, need some kind of encouragement. I'm telling you guys right now, it is very important to reach out to someone else when you're feeling this, when you're feeling everything way down on you, and, of course, you feel like you're failing, and it's like, man, I'm not worth shit. I may as well just go ahead and just give up. I'm telling you, if you can, reach out to somebody. I promise you, you will get through it. These thoughts are fleeting. They are not permanent. Even if you deal with them daily, so be it. Just let it run its course and take care of your business. That's the best way I can say it. Of course, you need to pray if you're of the faith. Pray, be open with the Lord. I guarantee you, He will work with you, and He will walk you through it. Even if you're angry with Him, even if you're upset, that's sometimes where the dark thoughts can go. Okay, so be it. He understands that. Be open with Him. Be respectful. And I guarantee you, the Creator will walk you through the dark thoughts, as well as the temporary periods of self-loathing. Do the best you can do. Don't overload yourself. These are all things that most of us need to learn, whether you have a sound mind or you don't. Because unfortunately, a lot of the stress that people go through is self-induced. They're like, man, I have to do this. If I don't, I'm a failure. No, that's a bunch of bullshit. Don't hate on yourself. Accept the fact that this has happened, or you fell short a little bit, or maybe you just have to take a break. Then you come back to it. We have all fallen short of the glory of God. Never forget that. And also remember something else. This is a serenity prayer. It's an old cliche, but it's true. Help me to remember the things. How can I say this? Help me, I think it goes. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The last one's the hardest part for me, as well as the first. I have the courage to change the things I can, usually. But the first thing, accepting that I can't change anything, as well as having the sense to know the difference between whether I can or I can't. That's a challenge for me. And of course, it leads to more feelings of self-loathing and frustration. It has stalled me in a lot of my life, but as the last 3 or 4 years, I've said no more. And I'm telling you guys, I've made a lot of progress in that. I have to accept the fact that I have these god-awful thoughts that go through my head. I let them go. And my point is, I do this. I let myself feel them, and then I keep going. Don't let the dark thoughts stop you, because I'm telling you, if they do stop you, there's a good chance you won't be able to start up again. Remember that. And that is how you will get through self-hatred. And of course, I'm not a professional. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I think this might actually help a lot of people. I just wanted to put this one out there. You guys, for now, be blessed and you be safe.